Hello everyone, myself Ashar Ahmed. I welcome you all for the first episode of 192 Innovation Stories from 192 countries, brought to you by Innovation Solution Lab. So today we have in our panel Professor Sanjay Raut, CEO of Innovation Solution Lab, myself Ashar Ahmed, and Mr.Kohei, data privacy expert from Japan. So let's begin the show.
Hello.
We are very pleased to have you here.
Thank you.
And first of all, I would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity for this interaction. I hope you are doing well and safe there. How is everything there in Tokyo?
Yeah, it's very good here. We are in the crisis now, but we are fight against. That we will see the more bright futures.
All right. So how is workflow there currently?
I'm working on remote to stay at home, but I had connected online with my clients. They're also my business partners, which is a kind of the new wave for the business making. So that's why we are connected online, and even we are very farther distance,
Right.
but we can see each other.
Right. So you are doing a great job by providing a great platform for talent hunting as well as project collaboration. So can you share your journey in a quick manner of CollaboGate? I mean, how it started and how it is making impact today?
Sure. The CollaboGate is our collaboration platform. We started is almost 2 years ago. So we are blockchain companies. We developing the blockchain identity solutions for the enterprises. Our products is focusing on the enterprises who want to minimize their data, because we see that a lot of enterprises they try to collect the data for the business profit. However, we see that a lot of the data protection wave from the Europe and the United States, which means a lot of the companies is struggling to storing all the data now. Our solution is helping these companies to minimize their data, release just storing as much as they want. Of course, very sensitive personal data such as your credit card numbers, so addressing or any related to yourself, all the individual identity holders can select what kind of the data you can give all the enterprises who want to get the returns. So this is a basic idea and a concept that we are working right now.
Great. We would like to know more about yourself, your technological journey of your life, from early childhood, your inclination towards technology and blockchain.
I think the blockchain has a very new empowerment, especially we believe it has a uniqueness, like the network. So this is a very primary focus right now. So network supports the enterprise's empowerment, not just holding every data on themselves. So far, a lot of the company is having a centralized the database, but this is a very big risk, such as in hacking or instance, the breach in a database. So the blockchain has a new empowerment to support them, not just holding all the data, but you can continue your own marketing campaign and business operations. So this is why we are betting on the blockchain, and we believe this kind of the futures will be emerged in accordance with the technical advancement.
Innovation Solution Lab mostly work on the open innovation solutions, specifically for the innovators and the solution makers. Okay, so as we all know that open source is a term which works for globally. We are not saying it's a free, but it's accessible to all peoples. Okay, So how you can see you are in very emerging future leaders in blockchains and data privacy. So as due to this pandemic, we all been suffering to like we are not being able to move from our space to office or doing our work. So we manage the cloud infrastructures and all. So what are the future possibilities in the cloud infrastructures in future? Second thing is that what are the opportunities for the new SMEs and startups and the leaders to creating an open solutions which give much privacy in especially quantifying of any customers or respondent. And third thing is that as blockchain is very amazing tools as I personally know, and it has very it's an ocean. It's a very collaborative and quantifiable. It's not quantifiable. It's a very analytical platforms where you can develop and deliver product solutions. So I just curious to know, and even if lots of my global audience also curious to know that after this pandemic situations, how okay commercially blockchains is doing very good to other avenues. So what are the privacy parts and what are the open source parts for this in future you are seeing on that?
Yeah, I'm a believer of the decentralized the database is much better than a centralized database regarding the data protection, the privacy based infrastructures. So a lot of the companies try to shift their infrastructure to the decentralized management model, such as like a lot of countries is try to adopt the decentralized the operation in order to make sure the contact tracing right now. This dialogue is coming from the data privacy is very important to spread the public services, such as in Google and Apple is working together to develop the core technologies. Of course, they are not using the blockchain, but they think that decentralized the data storage is the very interesting topics right now. So when it comes to consider the public services, we have to take in the balances in between the public benefit and also the corporate profit. So the privacy is the one way to bridge the need to other. How we can completely working on that also the covers everything. So that's why I'm very interested in these topics. The blockchain is the one way. Of course, the blockchain has some problems, like you write on the identity under the GDPR. Right of the deletion is the one of the controversial way. So the blockchain is just a kind of to put more information on the ledgers. So this is in one paradox. But I think in the futures, well, data protection rule is also the shift and more decentralized. We believe that. So that's why the blockchain is the one of the alternative infrastructures instead of these centralized database.
Wonderful.
Right. So, nowadays every country is talking about blockchain and cryptocurrency and all. So, Japan, what's your view, Mr. Kohei, how Japan is flourishing in blockchain?
Okay, so in the blockchains, we haven't talked a lot of the things from the public space. However, we see that some private company has started to work on the blockchain utilities such as the finance services or payments solutions, because they have a lot of a problem. Their legacy infrastructures is very budget to make a maintenance in a business. So the blockchain is one of the alternative capacities to make a functioning the automatic services. So that's why they're very interested in these topics. Besides, there's some big company like Toyota Automobile has some professional membership within their smart cities to work with some blockchain companies to develop the solutions for the citizens, the future citizens, will be living their own capacity. So this is kind of the thing that happens right now, but we need to more practical applications, like the more high layers, such as the second and third layers, needed to make more things that happens. So we're focusing on the sub layers of the identities, which is the part of the very promising space, because a lot of the company wants to minimize the data. So that's why they're working on that. I think the blockchain identity is the one of the promising space to emerge in the market.
Right. Yeah, and how global market scenario will get impacted in coming time with this blockchain, and what will be the challenges and reaction from the global market?
Yeah, I think in global scopes, the many companies started working on this technology, such as in a big supply chain. This is one of the investment areas. Because the supply chain network is widespread than the global market, they also the trust is one of the big issues. You export any products from India to the other countries. The problem is all the literature is not aware of the sources where is the coming of the products or ingredients. And so they want to know more about the specific, the pipeline, how it works. Especially the consumer is becoming to change their mentalities to examine whether this product is good or not. So I think this kind of traceability is the one of the promising space, and also a lot of the companies invest in a lot.
Right. All right. So we see you have a great experience in technology as well as a startup section. Since you have co-founded two major initiatives and you have served many platforms as manager or mentor. So what message you would like to give to our audience, those who want to pursue their career in blockchain?
Sure. I think the technology is open source based at this moment. That means we can collaborate together, even though you're living outside the countries. Of course, I'm in Japan, you're in India, but we have a very big potential to work together. So the message is we have to overcome this situation at the time. It's a very big crisis, the coronavirus. But this kind of instance will be succeed in the long running. So that means we can fight against to work together and hand in hand. So that's I think the technology is the one great keywords to bind in each other to make the elections for together. So that's I'm very honored to have any great collaboration with you. That
right. And I see how do data privacy will help us in open innovation and and free technology.
Yes, the privacy is a great keyword. The consumer centric. So before that, we just focusing on the corporate benefit, such as collecting a lot of the data, collecting a lot of the resources from the market. But the problem is the data is not oil; it's just the data itself. So a lot of companies to become aware of it. We have to focus on the data set first. What kind of the data is the critical impact for the enterprise as well as the individual who gives you the data? So the privacy is the great way to work together the consumer-centric, especially like the public services, without any concept from the living residents in a specific fields. You cannot proceed the business there. A good example is in Google in Toronto in Canada has stopped their own sidewalk project. That means the privacy against is not works well for the business, especially the public data collections. I think this kind of the signal is coming out at any place in the real in a real business, especially. So the privacy is a great keyword to collaborate together with the competitors, of course, the other industries as well.
Exactly. So, what are the future most privacy and encryption technologies you'd like to work on?
I think the encryption is the one way to make the data protections. But we need to combine more technology at once, such as the de-identification is the one way, which means it's anonymize the data. They also, even the data, there seems to be a way to protect the consumers. There's some Israel companies are working on this project, as well as some other European American companies started the work. So the many data will have been collected through the real world, such as in the cities, some cameras, or the biometrics. Anyways, will be emerged in the futures. In that cases, how we can de-identifications of numbers. So this kind of a technology will work together, the encryption. So I think this is the very great hybrid synergies. The throughput, this kind of the data processing.
Right. So, the skill sets are very, very essential in today's time. And we believe seeing at India's and, the global skill development position, unemployability is major issue than unemployment. And everyone must try to acquire a particular skill set of their interest. So can you suggest some skill sets for students who are trying to pursue or who are trying to acquire some knowledge in blockchain?
Okay, from my experiences, I can say that a lot of diversified background experiences are very important. Not only for the technology engineering, but also many backgrounds, some kind of the artist or more humanitarianist or sociologist or psychologist, because the human-centric means we need to understand the humans, not only for the engineering technologies. So that means that we have to collaborate together. For the students, I had also the same in the 10 years ago. I had a fair times. I tried to learn many things. They also try to make it challenging together. And also one thing that I can add is we need more good things for the societies. Therefore, I believe that the students can do anything you are believing. So that's very good, and that's very great treasures for their youth.
Right. There are a few tech enthusiasts already connected with us through our ISL platform, and they want to create an impact with innovative ideas or solutions what they have. So what's your message for innovators?
Yeah, I'm also the challenges. I'm not innovators. The challenges will need to be confident even in a crisis. So let's work them together, not just only for me. We are the citizens living on Earth. So I'm very honored to have a talk like this. Then please let me know if I can help with anything. Let's go ahead together.
ISL, I have been with different forums and I have been working for different clients in past. So ISL been co-founded by some of business and passionate peoples to create an open solution for the global peoples. So the organization is not now any country specific or not any educations or like innovation specific. It's open to the solution makers. It always mentored and helped solution makers to promote, to research, to development, to synergize, to growth, and to strategize the product, and how we can do the future initiatives to reach more people and to scalable the solutions. So yes, for myself, that blockchain is been parallelly with two P's, like P for privacy, P for protection. So when I yes, you are truly right. When suppose I have seen in future there are lots of opportunities in edutech firms, in institution universities, in financial parts, in especially in the government. Yes, there are lots of opportunities for the blockchains, for the government enabled programs and all. So here few things I just very curious, and I hope that that would be very amazing solution in future, that the data encryptions and the data compressions and the data storage and the self data destructions, because the privacy and the data storage should have some legitimate period, and after this period over, then data should be deleted. Okay, so that are the some key factors where when ISL represents to global forums and we discuss with different future leaders for that reasons, and there are lots of debates on that, and hope that we'll be seeing soon very amazing solutions, because you are like a global leader who blockchains and data privacy, and creating some of new hope and very emerging light for the future landscapes for different innovators and solution makers.
Right, Mr. Kohei. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your inputs. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Professor, you'd like to convey something?
Yeah. So, it's a relations we have started with just hope for the future solutions, and this relations is based upon the patience, the innovations and solutions. And our today delegates, Mr. Kohei, is very wonderful person. He's been very kind heart and very emerging innovative leaders, especially on the data centers and blockchains and emerging technologies. And we hope that our future collaborations will give some of the solutions and innovation to all part of the globe. And thank you so much, Kohei, for your time, and have a wonderful avenues for the futures, and very best wishes to all of our viewers also. And thank you so much from my end.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As a conclusion note, I thank you all. I thank Mr. Kohei for his wonderful inputs. Yeah, stay safe, stay connected. We will be sharing wonderful stories from different countries. Yeah, do like and share. Thank you.